Hello, everybody, and warm welcome to you. I am Vanita Keswani, Master Teacher at the Tao Academy, Canada, and an advanced practitioner with Master Shah. Before we start and begin, I would want to share something very important. Tao is not religion. Tao healing does not replace your faith, nor does it ask you to leave your spiritual path. It honors religions, it honors spiritual traditions, it honors humanity. It is a universal spiritual science of healing, where we work with the unseen light, the invisible field of love, forgiveness, compassion, and service that exist within and around us. So remember, this space is about opening our hearts, stabilizing our mind, and most important, strengthening our soul power.
Hi, good morning. I'm Master Francisco. How are you doing?
I'm very good, and you? I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for making the time. I think every single person who contributes to making this world a more peaceful, loving, happy place has a great contribution to make, right? In what lives we are living. So, we all know the need for spirituality in today's world, right? I think we're all carrying a lot of baggage on an ongoing basis. Happiness is something we seek but rarely find. Living in the moment is a great idea and a concept, but eventually it doesn't really happen for most of us. So tell us a little bit about, how you have been able to help people across the board, because we'll have a lot of practices to share as we go along in this conversation. But I wanted to first start with you and get you going on what your idea of spirituality, of being in the present, of helping people find themselves.
Thank you. So, in the teachings of Dr. Master Jigong Shah, those are the teachings that I spread as his leading teacher. When we are trying to achieve happiness, when we're trying to achieve good health, stress-free, when we're trying to live in the moment, we need to connect with our true nature. Our true nature is more open, more happy, more loving, more love, peace, harmony. So part of our spirituality, part of our daily life is to help connect to that true nature within us. So to do that, we have to really just, connect in a deep way to our true nature. And when we do that, life's smooth. When things are going very smooth in your life, that's when you're connected to your true nature. When you feel like, okay, blockage in finances or in business or in your health, that's when you have a disconnection. So I teach people how to connect to your true nature so that those things can come out more easily in your life. And there are a lot of techniques to do that.
Oh, awesome. I can well imagine 20 years ago, I got recommended into Vipassana, which is a form of meditation, right? Where you end up trying to being in the present as much as possible. And that really changed my life, and I continue to explore more and more modalities to be able to see what is there out in the world which can continue to help people the way I found peace or happiness of being in the present. So tell me a little bit about your technique and how you go about helping people, how it's helped people. Give us a little bit of flavor, color, so that people understand the strength of what you end up doing.
Yes. So in these teachings, we call it Tao Healing. And it's based on Tao is the source. Tao is like the creator. Tao is, unconditional love. Tao is oneness. We're not teaching religion. We're just teaching how to connect to that beautiful divine presence, that Tao source presence, that love within us all. So in these teachings, everything has a soul. Your liver has a soul. Your brain has a soul. Your heart has a soul. Your finances has a soul. Your relationship, every relationship in your life has a soul. And the soul carries information. And that information can be both positive or negative. The negative information is called karma. And many people know that negative karma is within the soul. The soul carries the negative information. So what in these teachings, we're helping people to connect to the soul, to transform the soul blockages. And when you, it's like the soul blockages is like that veil that prevents you from having happiness, from being in the moment. And there's ways that we can transform those blockages through different techniques. And in this book, The Power of Soul, here's a book. I brought a book with me by Dr. Master Jigong Shah. He
Wow.
teaches a very simple technique. It's called Say Hello Healing. I'll share a story. I've been to India many times with my teacher, Dr. Master Shah. There was one lady, she had all kinds of skin issues all over her skin. I believe she was even a Bollywood actress. And she used the technique say hello. So the skin has a soul. So she was saying, Dear the soul of my skin, you have the power to heal yourself. So there's a message. You have the power to heal it. We're like telling ourselves, you have the power to heal yourself. She was using this technique. A few months later, she came back to my teacher, Master Shah, and her skin was totally cleared.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, so when we connect with the soul, it's able to help us to heal, to transform our life. So when we have a challenge in our life, the key is to connect to the soul so that those blockages can be transformed. And that's actually the negative karma that we want to transform in a very quick and fast way. So that's a little essence and one technique there.
As we speak a lot about the Tao light, right? I'm made to believe that there's a song that has helped heal many, many people. I truly believe in the magic of sound, right? And sound healing has become such an important part of our healing processes and modalities. So tell me a little bit about how you're contributing to life, and I believe that there's something really powerful out there.
Yes. So Master Shah received a song from Tao. It's called Love, Peace, Harmony. Very simple song. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, harmony. Love, peace, harmony. So when we say, I love my heart and soul, we're doing soul healing, Tao healing. We're healing our heart, our soul. When we offer love to humanity, okay, we are serving.
No, beautifully said. I think we in India truly believe that we are responsible for our own karma. We are also responsible for our own healing, and most of us scriptures go down this route, right? Whether it's the Gita, whether it's a Guru Granth Sahib, and there is the whole Ekomkar, which is oneness, right?
Yes.
Which comes out of Guru Nanak's teaching. So I think some of this is so ingrained in our culture that what you're saying makes so much sense, and it really resonates or will resonate with anybody who's seeking to better their life in many forms. Now, tell me a little bit about Master, about how do you really adapt this to normal life. So all of us start to seek these things when something's going wrong. But
Yes.
my belief is that life is about getting balance when it's all right rather than when it's all wrong, right? And how do you find
Correct.
that equanimity when things are not going wrong?
Correct. So in the soul, it's not just for healing. It's the soul can heal, can transform your business, can transform your finances, can transform other aspects of your life. So it's also about when do you want to grow your business? When do you want to uplift your relationship so there's more love? When do you want to improve your organization? So the teachings is actually is for every part of your life, not just when you're suffering and you're sick, but actually when you want to have abundance. And the techniques are actually very similar because you're connecting to the soul, and the soul is actually what can help you to heal, to transform your life. So the technique actually applies for every part of your life. We have people all over the world who use these techniques not just when they're sick, but they're doing it to attract more clients in their business. They're doing it when they want to grow their business to that next level. So these techniques, we tend to go to them when we're not feeling good, but actually they're for every part of our life, so that it could grow and develop further to our next level.
And abundance is such a key thing, right? It's a mindset. It's also something that we need to learn to allow to come into our lives. We run a platform called Koto, which stands for Come Together. And our entire effort on the platform was to be able to help people when they were in distress or in need or spiraling. But we have also realized over a period of time that healing or equanimity or balance or emotional wellness should not be left to the day that you think you're spiraling, right? But it should
Yes.
become a part of your life on an ongoing basis. And I believe that the Tao Light modality or the Tao Light, practice can actually help you do a lot of that. So tell me a little bit about that. I've had friends tell me a lot about how they've really been able to transform their life through Tao Light. So happy to hear a little bit more from you.
Yes. So, uh, the Tao light, when we want to heal, when we want to have abundance in our life, we need light. We need light from our spiritual fathers and mothers. We need light from the divine. We need light from the source. Light is actually what's going to uplift you. Light is what's going to make you happy. Light is what's going to clear the spiritual blockages that's blocking your life. So the key is to help. How do you, we chant. Many people, we chant mantras, we chant other sounds. It's because we're trying to gather light, but sometimes it's hard to gather that light. Okay, we want to gather the highest light. So so there's different techniques. We use the soul. Uh, Connect with the soul. Say hello to the soul. We use the power of our heart to open our heart to receive. If our heart's not open to receive, then there's going to be challenges because we also have to be open to receive the abundance. The mind, we have to transform our consciousness and our subconsciousness because the subconsciousness is a huge contributor to many challenges we have in life. And we don't even realize, but in our subconscious mind, there are many things, there's many messages that are blocking us. Yeah. And then we connect with the energy. We have to get the energy to move. Okay. And yoga, that's what they do in yoga. They're moving the
The
energy in the
chakras,
body.
the
Yeah.
chakras that block us up, and right,
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
exactly. And then the matter. We want to transform the matter. So in the Tao healing, we use different mantras. Okay. We use calligraphy. You see a calligraphy right behind me.
Yes.
We use breathing techniques. We do a lot of chanting, a lot of breathing. We do forgiveness practice. Okay. And when we combine all those things together, we're bringing in more light. We're transforming the negative karma, and that's when actually starts we start to experience that manifestation of whatever we want in our life. So it's very, very powerful. And maybe later in the session I can do a blessing for everybody.
To your point of, it's very powerful. Some humans feel more powerful than the others, right? Some end up getting their life sorted better than the others. Some end up getting their way around life better than the others, right? And I work with a Buddhist monk who's a leadership coach out of Thailand, and him and me have this thing about that most of our answers lie in our breath, right?
Yes.
As the heavier the breath gets, we know the more blockages, the more contraction we are creating around ourselves, right? And so we've had very deep discussions about how do you really live life on a daily basis to be able to get more power of equanimity, of power of mind, power of action to yourself. So tell me a little bit about, how does the soul light really help people get more power to themselves?
um, One, it'll give you more energy. Last night, I'm here in Amsterdam right now, and we were in a room. There was a man, low energy, has heart issues, kidney issues, hardly no energy. Other people, another woman having distress in her life. One man, just low energy in life, like barely enough energy to sustain themselves. With the practices, there's so much light and energy coming to you that right away you're like, wow, like waking up and like, wow, like I feel great. You need energy to heal yourself. You need energy to maintain your daily life. You need energy to work. You need energy to sustain your family. So the Tao light, in my personal experience, has been one of the best experiences that I've experienced, where it brings energy so fast into your body, into your energy chakras, that right away you have this energy to keep your life moving forward. That energy will also help you to meditate more. That energy will also help you to connect to the stars, to the planets, to the saints, to whoever you want to connect to. So that energy actually becomes like a universal force. So the Tao light is kind of like that oneness energy. Your company's on oneness. It is Tao light is oneness energy that helps to align everything in your soul, heart, mind, and body. So it does it really fast in a beautiful way.
No, I truly believe in energy exchange, right? I believe that you give energy, you take good energy, you give good energy. I follow this morning practice of metta bhavna, which is loving kindness, giving good energy out. So, and you end up receiving a lot of good energy in. Let's, and this is a lot about our personal lives, right? Let's take this to business. I want, as a business leader of 30 years, I also want people to understand how important spirituality is in business life, because people think it's all about love, life, emotions, relationships, but a lot of this gets transformed in your day-to-day business, in day-to-day activities that you do at work. And we're going to end up using some of this content on good business media outlets to be able to get people to understand that they've got to find equanimity, they've got to find energy, they've got to find light to be able to lead great business lives. So tell me a little bit about that.
Great,
Master.
good. These uh, part of it is that in this new time period, the businesses, the most successful businesses are going to be businesses connected to the soul, connected, trying to create that oneness. Those businesses, a business also has a soul. Like it's just like your name has a soul. Every part of life has a soul. So your business has a soul. So the soul of the business, it needs to like radiate like love, forgiveness. It needs to radiate compassion. It needs to radiate flourishing. It needs to radiate service to humanity. So all those qualities the business has to embody. So there's ways, the same techniques that we're using for healing or for transforming our distress, we're using it for the business. Okay, why don't you have any clients? Okay, there's a reason why you have no clients. There's a spiritual reason why you have no clients. There could be some negative karma in your business that you need to transform. So those techniques can also help you for that. And then when you apply like for example, greatest love is a mantra from a master Sha. Greatest love. It creates a spiritual home in the heart. What does that mean? That your business has to hold humanity. It has to help humanity. Greatest love attracts like-minded people. So love actually is what attracts like-minded people to your business, to grow your business. So there's qualities also, these qualities also you cultivate through chanting, through practices, through gathering the Tao light to help you to transform your business. And you see the calligraphy behind me. There is a man. Uh, he's a sports agent in the U.S. He came to Master Sha. His business was collapsing, and Dr. Master Sha created a calligraphy like the one you see behind me, but a one specifically for finances. And the guy came to Master Shah. I want to transform my finances. That's exactly. I want to make money. He wanted to make money. He wasn't too. He wanted to make money. He said that to Master Shah. Master Shah created the calligraphy behind me, or something similar. And you know what his homework was? To connect with the calligraphy, to connect with. It's called the Tao calligraphy, and to trace it. And these calligraphies is a pathway to connect to source, a pathway to align your soul, your heart, to connect to your true nature. So the man, a few years later, came back, and his business not only he was making millions of dollars. His business not only recovered, He made even millions of more by working with the Tao calligraphy. It's one of the techniques of the Tao light. The Tao calligraphy radiates this Tao light. It's like it's a way for us to gather that light, and huge success in business with that. So this is one example how the Tao light can help people.
It seems like a spiritual injection almost, right? It seems so.
Exactly, it is a spiritual injection of light.
No, and I think activating different parts of your life is so important, right? Sometimes our family life is not activated, and sometimes our business is not activated, and also all of them are so beautifully connected, and they require some sort of support, some sort of help, some sort of work, and as we say, karma, to be able to move forward, right? You've got to keep doing something. If you think that things will figure themselves out on their own, then you expect the universe to do too much when you're doing nothing. And so show us what you do, right? I'm very curious. I'm at that point in this session that I want everybody to see how you practice this entire modality.
Great. So uh, I'm going to offer everyone a Tao light blessing. Okay, so what is it? I'm going to connect source to our spiritual fathers, bring in light to a part of your life. So you could pick, Tarun, you could also pick a part of your body. It could also be uh, something emotional, mental, uh, or a struggle that you have, a challenge in your life. Okay. So you can close your eyes. And for all the listeners, also in this moment, you could sit up straight, close your eyes, and just receive this love, this light. So close your eyes and just relax. And in your heart, make silently a request. Okay, please heal my back. Please transform my relationship challenge. Please help me to transform this issue that I have in my life. Okay, just pick one part of your life and just totally relax. Breathe into your lower abdomen. I'm going to say the word transmission is when I bring in the light to your soul, to your heart, to your mind, to your body. And then I'm going to do a little chanting for you. You're just going to listen. Tao light blessing to all of the listeners for one request. Close your eyes and receive. For an organ, a system, a health condition you want to transform, a part of your body or a relationship or a challenge in your life, for one request. Transmission. Okay, I'm going to chant for everybody. Just close your eyes to receive. We activate this Tao light to help you to heal, to transform your life. Thou light, thou light, thou light, thou light. Liver, for anyone with liver issues. Thou light liver, thou light liver, thou light liver, thou light liver, heart, thou light heart, thou light heart, thou light heart, thou light heart, spleen, thou light spleen, thou light spleen, thou light spleen, thou light spleen, your lungs, thou light lungs, thou light lungs, thou light lungs, thou light lungs, your kidneys, thou light kidneys, thou light kidneys, thou light kidneys, thou light kidneys, your personal requests. Dao lai, 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 dao light. Just breathe into your abdomen. Breathe out. Notice how you feel. Take another deep breath. Inhale. Breathe in the light, the source, dear source light. Please help me to heal. Inhale. Exhale. Heal me. Let us use the mantra. Heal me. Inhale. Heal me. One more time. Inhale. Heal me. Hey, you can notice how you feel in your heart, your mind, your body. Maybe you feel lighter. Maybe you feel more open. Maybe you feel less pain. Okay. Notice how you feel. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. How are you feeling, Tarun?
Beautiful, beautiful, lighter, easier, more in the moment.
Yes.
And so I run a meditation class every week for some time. I used to meditate myself, and then people said, "Why don't you help us?" And I can see the power. I can understand where you're going with this. Right? It's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Thank you,
It's beautiful.
Tarun.
And for all the beautiful work and good work you're doing, Master, all of us have a personal life behind it. We have a journey. So I like to know a little bit about yours. I'll tell you a little bit about mine. Let's spend some time talking about how this came about in your life.
Good, good. So I studied physics and mathematics in California at the University of California, and I became a math teacher. And I was teaching mathematics to high school kids, and my the very first few years of teaching, I ended up with high blood pressure. Yeah, my
The
blood
kids
pressure.
must be suffering.
Yeah, the kids. I don't want to blame the kids, but I got high blood pressure, and my blood pressure was 190 over 90. And I was actually only in my late 20s, like 28, 29. And my mom, she suffers from high blood pressure, and she has to go through a lot of medication, strong
What a
medication.
coincidence. My life is exactly the same. I got
Uh,
BP at 28. My mom suffers from high blood pressure.
yeah, but when I saw my own mom go through her struggles with that, I was like, I have to find a way to heal myself. I do not want to take medication in my late 20s. It doesn't make sense to me. So I started doing like Tai Chi, Qigong, other movements, yoga, and it relaxed me, but it didn't heal me. And I came across a teacher. Her name was Patricia Smith, and she was teaching me Qigong, but then she would come to class and be like, "Oh, I met this Chinese grandmaster, and he's amazing, and he's teaching us all these techniques." I'm physics and math guy, so I was open to spirituality at that point in my life. This was 25 years ago, but it was very new to me. It like the concept of healing, of energy. Like I didn't even at that point I didn't even know what the energy chakras were. Now I'm teaching that. But in those days, it's like okay, I was looking for something, and I was open. So I started to do the practices. In the beginning, I didn't really notice much, but 3 months into a daily practice, I had more energy. I wasn't tired after work. 6 months later, my blood pressure was dropping. A year later, my blood pressure had normalized. So it's like, wow, like this, if it
This
worked
is
for me,
beautiful. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lovely journey.
So I was curious, like, you know, I, I was curious to know, does this work for other people? So I started to study from Dr. and Master Jigong Sha. And in 2008, he asked me, so I met him in 2001. In 2008, he made me one of his teachers. And he asked me to travel around the world with him. And we first went to Germany. And I actually moved to Germany from California to Germany in 2008. And I was blessed. I also got to travel to India shortly thereafter. We were in Delhi, in Mumbai, in Bangalore. We were in Chennai, and I saw these amazing, what you would call a healing miracle. I'll give you one story of a boy in Chennai, a young boy in Chennai. He had like tunnel vision. He came with the family. We were doing these practices with Tao Light. He received some Tao Light blessings, and we were chanting for that boy for like an hour. It felt like he opens his eyes, takes his glasses off, opens his eyes, right away starts crying that he can see. And this was like 2010, I believe. So when I saw things like that happen, I was like, wow, like a miracle just happened in front of my eyes. This must work. So that's when I started to learn more from Master Sha, what he does, because one of his teachings is that we have the power to heal ourselves, and together we have the power to heal the world. So he empowers us not only to transform our life, but to also help other people to transform their life. So that's when I started to receive very personal teachings from a very high level grandmaster on these teachings. And eventually I traveled around the world. I left Germany in 2016. Now I'm based in Toronto, Canada. And I basically spend my life spreading his Master Sha's teachings. My family's originally from Mexico, so I'm Mexican actually. That's where you see my name, Francisco Quintero.
No, so I think you've actually personally been able to benefit from it, and there is no better realization when it happens or when your own life changes. And you come from a math and science background, and this is spirituality. So tell me a little bit about how do you see health and science and healing and spirituality and work with science and medicine, etc.
Yes. So, uh, Dr. Shah, he works with a physicist because his goal is to bridge the two, science and spirituality. So this quantum physics physicist, her name is Dr. Rulin Shu. She's a quantum physicist. She asked, "What is the soul?" The soul is information. In quantum physics, everything has a vibrational field. The sun has a vibrational field, the moon, your physical body, your liver, everything is a vibrational field. In the vibrational field in science, we know that the vibrational field, it's like a wave. It carries information, energy, and matter. The information determines your life. The information in the field determines what is manifested in your life. So they discovered, Dr. Shah and Dr. Rulin Shu, that the soul is actually the information. The soul is the carrier of that information. So whatever your soul carries, it's in your vibrational field. If it's a positive information in your vibrational field, that's what's going to manifest loving relationships with your family, with your loved ones, or grow a business. But if the vibrational field has some negative information, those are the blockages that we experience in life. So in Tao Science, we have actually a book called Tao Science. It's teaching us, how do you change that vibrational field? How do you transform that vibrational field? How do you change the information? So think of it this way. We all use like now a phone with an app, and when you download information to your app, sometimes you get a message, would you like to upgrade your app? You download information. The information is making your phone work better. The information is making the app work better. So information is actually what transforms your life. Information is what upgrades your life, you can say. So the Tao light, the light is also information. So it's bringing that when we connect to our heart and soul, we're creating more positive information. When we're living our life in the moment, when we're living our life with more happiness, joy, love, forgiveness, compassion, it's more positive information, which is
Truly.
increasing.
It's really
Yeah,
what we put into our field, what thoughts we
exactly. Exactly.
think on a daily basis, what we allow for it for to come into our consciousness, and more importantly our subconsciousness. I have a true belief that there is so much that we fill into our subconsciously, right? So, and it may sound like a tongue twister, but we are adding stuff into our subconscious without even realizing we're adding it, and that
Yes.
is impacting our soul, our energy field on an ongoing basis.
Yes. Master Shah, he says 85% of our blockages is the blockages in our subconscious, actually, not our conscious. So it's the subconscious that we need actually to transform.
In our conscious we understand we should be thinking positive thoughts. I'll journal, I'll write all the right things around me. But subconscious, if we filled in trauma, we filled in past issues, present issues, an ongoing basis, we keep adding stuff. That's where things start to manifest themselves poorly over a period of time. And as we wrap up, is there something you would like to tell everybody about how they can better their life? Are there thoughts in your head? Because for me, for many years, living in the moment, having some sort of an anchoring, some sort of a practice, whatever it may be, has become really critical. And that's the message I try to getting everybody, that start somewhere, start with something, so that you can find grounding, anchoring, and can build a more equanimous life going forward. So happy to hear from you as we wrap this up.
Thank you. Thank you. I think the message I like to close with is that now is a very important time for all of us to come together to create unity, to heal our lives, but also to help other people to heal their lives. And it's really to create a world of love, peace, and harmony, not only for ourselves, but for everyone around the world. So join hearts and souls together is like a universal calling for oneness, for unity, and love, peace, harmony is the final outcome that we want here on Mother Earth. So it's a very powerful song. In fact, you could check it out. You could go to YouTube and just type in Love, Peace, Harmony, Dr. and Master Jigong Shah, and you can find it there. Listen to it, play it. And you know what? It's very good just to meditate with it and receive its vibrations, its love to help you clear anything that's happening in your life. Very, very powerful.